record. The main nationalization of Venezuelan oil occurred not under Maduro, not under Chavez or any of the Bolivarian revolution, socialist revolution, but occurred in 1976 under Carlos Andrés Perez, and it was only Chavez that then further move forward on the nationalization.
Can you talk about that history and how this is a complete misrepresentation of what has happened with Venezuela?
Venezuela knew the existence of oil before the Europeans or the Americans arrived. The very first oil industry was 1870s in Alquintran in the state of Táchira. The Venezuelans ran their own oil operation, they exploited it, they developed it. Having no infrastructure, they really couldn't promote it, and the lack of internal combustion engines meant that they couldn't really develop it. The oil was discovered profusely in 1922 in Cabimas, in La Rosa. It was run by, at that time, British and Dutch companies. Venezuela eventually nationalized its oil industry in 1975, taking effect in 1976. It was controlled by Venezuelans, it was run by Venezuelans, and it was fully compensated. The American companies, the Dutch companies, the American companies, and the British were fully compensated much above and beyond what they had already extracted out of the ground in huge amounts of profits. For ExxonMobil, for example, Standard Oil Company of New Jersey, Creole Petroleum was its most profitable subsidiary. It maintained that entire operation of Standard Oil, which today ExxonMobil. What Chavez did in 2006 and 7 was to close the back door that was left open in Article 5 of the reform for nationalization in 1976, which had allowed existing oil companies to proceed in Venezuela as partners operating with PDVSA. He imposed on those companies the joint ventures, but they had to include PDVSA, which is the Venezuelan Petroleum Corporation. So Trump is utterly wrong, utterly lying when he says that the oil companies were stolen from the Americans. They were fully compensated. They had received compensation over and over and over, in addition to what they had extracted in profits out of Venezuela previously. When we go back to the old Juan Pablo Pérez Alfonso, the minister of the petroleum in Venezuela in the 1960s, that said oil is the excrement of the devil, and once again, Trump has proven that.
Adriana, I can see that you've been nodding your head from Caracas. If you can talk about what President Trump said, that the oil companies will be funding this, and also the Nobel Peace Laureate, Machado, who is outside the country right now, what this means, where she is. They said they are not bringing her back right now, and that Marco Rubio, Andrea, has been talking with Dulce Rodriguez, as you pointed out.
Yes, so there's this claim that Marco Rubio has been talking with Dulce Rodriguez, and as I said before, we don't have actual confirmation that that is happening. They have also claimed that they were negotiating with President Maduro. They have made a lot of claims, and we know now those are not true. If there was any kind of negotiation with President Maduro, then they wouldn't have kidnapped him in the middle of the night, while bombing the entire country. So we know that the United States government lies, either because they want to create this psychological operation against the people, or because it is convenient for them to lie so people don't actually figure out what it is that they're doing. So there's no confirmation that there's any kind of negotiation happening, either with Delcy Rodriguez, with the vice president, or other key figures in the government. All we know right now is that the government figures that are still standing, that are calling the people to resist, and to go to the streets, and to fight back against this regime change operation. And of course, there also, I just came from New Flores. I was in a protest. People were there taking turns to speak on the microphone, and every single person was saying, we are not giving up. We are not giving up. We are going to demand that President Maduro is brought back. We're going to demand that we have proof life of President Maduro and his wife, Silvia Flores. So people are not just waiting to see what plans the United States has for Venezuela. People are actually fighting against it and denouncing very publicly in the streets, saying this is not acceptable. We do not accept this because we elected a president, and the United States doesn't have any kind of authority to decide that Maduro has to be kidnapped, and that now they're going to appoint some kind of like the dictators in the past to now run Venezuela. When it comes to Maria Corina Machado, we don't really, they haven't been very careful not to mention her, and I think that that proves that in a lot of ways they were actually sort of inflating her figure, trying to pose her at least kind of natural opposition figure who needed to take power in Venezuela eventually, but I don't think they were actually that committed to Maria Corina Machado, because ultimately they don't care. They just care about whoever, even if it's just a bunch of Venezuelans living in the United States, running the country, they don't care if it's Maria Corina Machado. They just care that it's someone that is friendly to their interests. So Maria Corina Machado might as well not be that involved in the whole equation, or she might be in the future. As we all know, Maria Corina Machado has been very vocal about wanting the United States to invade Venezuela, to attack Venezuela. She has been very vocal about being available to run Venezuela herself and treat Venezuela as some kind of, and she said herself, she has, this is her after work, she said that Venezuela is a sexy woman, and she's ready to just give this sexy woman to the world, meaning that she's willing to open up Venezuela's oil industry, oil resources, all our natural resources to U.S. corporations. And as Miguel was saying, it is indeed completely false that the Venezuelan government, the Chavez government back then, ever took away these sites from U.S. corporations. That's not true. They were compensated. There were some corporations like ExxonMobil and ConocoPhillips who simply decided that they didn't want to respect Venezuelan sovereignty. They didn't want to respect the fact that the Venezuelan state wanted to have a majority control in our own research, in our own joint ventures. So they decided to leave Venezuela. They abandoned their own projects. And now they are trying to fabricate this narrative that somehow that means that they were stolen. And they were not. These are just corporations that are greedy, that they were used to exploiting Venezuela however they wanted, without actually giving anything back to the Venezuelan people, and now they want to do the same. And that's what Trump just said.
Andreina, I wanted to ask you, in terms of what you have heard there in Venezuela from the other key leaders of the country around Maduro, specifically Vladimir Padrino Lopez, the defense minister, Jorge Rodriguez, the president of the National Assembly, and the
brother of the vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, and also Diosdado Cabello, the interior minister. These are considered the key figures around Maduro. Have any of them made announcements other than Delcy Rodriguez, the interview she did on the radio, a program where, by phone, where she called for people to resist?
Yes, so Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez, he was the first one to actually give a live statement, a video statement, in which he told the people that indeed we were being attacked by the U.S. He said that not only military sites were being struck, but also civilian population. He said that the army was ready to fight back, that they were mobilized, that they were outside, that they were taking charge, that they were monitoring the entire country. He called people to remain calm, to not believe any of these wild claims and psychological operations that are going around. And of course, he advised that we need to stick to the truth, we need to stick to the source, which is the Venezuelan government. Right now, there are a lot of mainstream media outlets and just people on social media claiming a lot of things, publishing photos that are edited, that are AI. So we need to try to focus on who are the people who actually claim this information that shows that the Venezuelan government.
I have my eye on you for a long
Besides
time.
Padrino Lopez, we also had
You had your eye on her, eh?
Diosdado Cabello. He was on the streets. From the moment this started happening, Diosdado Cabello and his group of people, they went to the streets. And he gave a declaration from the streets, telling the people that
Great adventurers is part of
indeed
my
we
job.
just were victims of this horrifying attack. And he asked people to trust the Venezuelan government. He said, trust your authorities, trust your leaders. We're in this. We're handling the situation. We know this is terrible. We know this is bad. But we're going to fight back. So those key figures in the Venezuelan government, they have stated very clearly that they are not giving up. There is no chance that they are actually negotiating anything with the US government. They're on the streets, they're fighting back, and they're
To the
trying to get people to
adventurer,
do the same.
experience is far more precious than
I'm
potential.
wondering if you can talk about this. Was not limited to a discussion about Venezuela, Trump's news conference. They also talked about Cuba. If you
You must accumulate adventurer experience to increase your adventure rank. Time is of the essence. Allow me to brief you on...
Wait, are you saying we're like official adventurers now?
Do not worry. The Adventurers Guild does not charge a membership fee or impose any kind of duties on its members. In short, there are lots of benefits, but no drawbacks to becoming a member. Basically, the Adventurers Guild rewards you every time your adventure rank increases. Here is a new member's gift for you. You will need to return here to claim rewards in the future.
Warlow's Wanderer's Advice. Oh, those grant free experience.
Without further ado, please allow me to officially welcome you, our new avid adventurer, into the guild. Here is your adventurer handbook. It is, in a way, but it has some practical uses too. It has a record of available commissions and rewards, and it is also proof of your membership. Oh, and one more thing. Sometimes you will find yourself stuck at a certain adventure rank. When this happens, you need to perform some impressive feats to gain further recognition from the guild.
Impressive feats? Sounds like hazing to me.
They are simply specific adventures that allow you to ascend to the next adventure rank on completion. Ascension adventures, if you will. But that will come later. Opportunities to win recognition will come as you gain more adventure experience. That will do for today. We will have plenty of chances to meet again in the future. Ad Astra Abyssosk, adventurer. With effort, you shall reach the stars and conquer the abyss.
Activate free teleport reports. Got that one. 15 chests.
Everyone can hear your voice.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
Only at Quinn's Fruit.
But we grew up together after all.
Oh, they're all with me?
That's what I'll make tonight.
the storm terror crisis.